I'm Samuel Honnold, and this is what's not in the news. I'm a big fan of Allie Reisman. Allie testified against Dr. Larry Nassar, led the U.S. Olympic Gymnastics team, did us proud as a nation. Big fan of Gabby too, Gabby Douglas. She's an Iowan, fellow Iowan. And we've got this guy put away, this Larry Nassar, filthy, nasty doctor that abused very, very many of our Olympic athletes. Got a pic of him going to Arizona to the maximum security. His new home. Oh, look at that. Look at that girl mistreating him. That's your new life, Larry. There he is in his fruit suit. Now, Joni Ernst, senator from the state of Iowa, is in the news announcing that there's going to be a congressional committee to investigate USA Gymnastics and the Olympic Committee after the Larry Nassar sex abuse conviction. It's about time, and I'm really glad to hear this. Now, what I'm curious about, and I'm going to send this to Joni. I voted for Joni. I'm a big fan of Joni. What Joni said when she asked for our votes to send her to Washington, she said, not only have I had a lifetime of military service, she said, I grew up on a hog farm in the state of Iowa, castrating hogs. And she said, and if you elect me and send me to Washington, I assure you, I know how to make them squeal. Of course, she was talking about cutting out pork barrel spending, but she was also talking about all other sorts of filthy activities that have been going on in this nation. Among them, the abuse of children. MK is the name of CIA program. It has other names. There's Project Monarch. This is why the monarch butterfly is so prolific in story and news and movies, in the one-eyed portraits of actors, many of which are victims of monarch-type programming. It's about time that this is unveiled and that we as a nation begin to face how much abuse, how much splitting of the psyche has happened within our nation, and to solve it, to help these people to heal. Ever since this book came out, this is the original landmark text on dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder. There was a very strong thrust when I was in Bible school to eliminate two key doctrines. One was the idea of multiple personality disorder, and the other was nephilic hybrids, which are addressed in the Bible in Genesis 6, giants. Of course, now in our age of chimeras and experimentation and humansies, that's more important than it's ever been. Here's Michaela Maroney, another Nassar victim, another Olympian, a great hero, great American. This article tells how the issue has been covered up with secret settlements all these years. Institutions seeking to protect their reputations use hush money or secret settlements, and the more victims are silenced, the more predators are enabled. Confidential settlements in sex offense cases are a major reason why predators, whether Catholic priests, Harvey Weinstein, or Bill Cosby, were able to hide sexual harassment or assault for so many years. Public knowledge is a powerful key to setting off an avalanche of reports to authorities and, ultimately, action against serial abusers. The Roman Catholic Church turned silencing victims and settling secretly into a dark art form in its decades-long quest to hide abuse by priests of thousands of youngsters. And then it goes into the Boston Globe article. The movie Spotlight was made about this. Again, that's an excellent place to start if an American wants to face what's really been going on in our nation. The whole purpose of this abuse was not that this doctor had a sexual desire. It was that he wanted to crack their brains and subjected these beautiful young girls to torture in order to accomplish that end, under the idea that it makes them a better performer and a better athlete. This is diabolical. It is a dark art. Going back to Avatar, which is about chimeras as well as programming, it's very clear that the phallus, represented by the braid, is the key to absolute obedience. That once the phallus is inserted into whatever beast, person, or thing, it causes a link. And that link can be used for absolute control. Sigourney Weaver's character says to this mange, she says, "Don't play with that. You'll go blind." Of course, referring to the ancient American wives' tale, that young people ought to not be sexually active or to toy with sexuality. If I have time on this film to talk a little bit more about Bible school, these two doctrines, they tried very hard, and this was a social thing. It moved through the society and not necessarily through the professorship. I have another video on the bringing down of the infiltration and the destruction of the last and the greatest Bible school and the last and the greatest castle of Christianity from the city of Tulsa that has spread the gospel worldwide. This is a great book about, it's a little small, but it talks about Armand Hammer. And there he is with Gorbachev. There's Gorbachev. There's Armand Hammer. Talks about him being a Soviet agent, his father being one of the founders of the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution, him laundering money and treasures that were stolen from the czars in 1917, and going on continuing to be a Soviet agent, not only in those pre-World War II days, but that he reestablished those connections after World War II and was very, very active in the Communist Party in America for the Comintern. The new big landmark central building at Oral Roberts University is the Armand Hammer Center. And it was the money, millions, was donated by this foundation for the purpose of infiltrating. It's hit the news that the Communist Chinese are involved in all of these universities. The University of Texas, Austin. It's mind-blowing. Books like this have caused us to, as a church, as Americans, as people who believe in God and country and traditional values, this was intentionally to throw us off of the track. There's been a very, very strong movement to get America away from believing that our children are being treated this way. But the fact is, it's true. And now that Trump is in office, the arrests of violators, of sexual abusers, of rapists, of people keeping children in dungeons has gone up about 500%. It's mind-blowing. And I'm really glad to see these people going and answering for their crimes. Hopefully, we as a society can assimilate and assist the victims and help them to come and become contributing Americans that are monolithic, that are in their mind. They're all one person. And again, ladies, Gabby, Allie, all the victims of Larry Nassar, America apologizes for sweeping this under the rug, and we hope to help you. And we thank you for being such great competitors and for being strong enough to bring this to the forefront. Now, let's all fight this fight and put this away from our midst. Oh, also, if anyone wants to know where America is in these hours, it's all in the last 3 or 4 chapters of the book of Judges in the Bible, which talks about this cancer growing in another nation and it being rooted out. It was a bloody process. I'm Samuel Honnold. That's what's not in the news.